Hey guys, welcome back. I know I got distracted last week because I picked up Escape from Tarkov, and maybe I'm still distracted, maybe I'm still playing that. Maybe I'll go back to doing 2 videos a week like I was for a while, briefly. So, I did some behind the scenes work. I ran around, talked to the crew members. Oh, excuse me, big yawn. I ran around, talked to the crew members, flew the spaceship around, scanned all the planets, launched a bunch of probes, blah blah blah. I've been working on my room here, so I'll have to set up my webcam so you can see the next episode, but I've got a new bookshelf, I've got a bunch of the RGB lighting, I'm doing the real pro gamer stuff here, and I'm having a good time. So, I've now come to some of the new content I have not experienced before. So I figured this is where we would pick up with this episode. So here we have this storage room, which houses some trash apparently. We have an actual garbage compactor. What happens? That's it? Alright. Oh, I can eject it. There we go. Shooting garbage in space. Alright. I don't remember that being in the game, so that must be part of the DLC. That's interesting. So this guy... Excuse me, another yawn. It's one of the new characters I haven't met.
Thinking about past missions. Got a minute? You might learn something.
Let's see if he has.
So you knew Archangel from before. Interesting. Knew a lot of men taking jobs to kill the son of a bitch. I never saw the point. You and I wanted the same thing. A whole lot of mercs dead. Hell of a sniper, though. And he kept himself alive with all the mercs in Omega after him. That ain't easy. I was trying to remember how many Cerberus operatives I've killed. Lost track around 50. Guess your elusive man's big on forgiveness. I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard.
That's it? Alright, let's see what else.
Oh yeah, that's a model of the Veracon. Turian frigate. Hell of a ship. I led a mission to bring that thing down from the inside with just 5 men and whatever guns we could bring. No chance of success, but we did it. Everyone died but me. So I made out like a bandit. My first impossible mission as an independent contractor. There's been many since, but nothing so goddamn sweet as watching that Turian warship crash planetside.
Okay.
Hey, don't touch. That rifle's older than you are. I call her Jessie. That's my lucky charm. More men have been killed with that gun than died in the Skillian Blitz. The day I laid her to rest was the saddest day of my life. I give up every weapon I own for one more mission with that shitty old rifle. I was down and out when I found that gun. Jessie was the first weapon I got my hands on. Took her everywhere. She didn't have much punch, but reliable as all hell. She'd already been through a lot by the time I got her. Still, I never had to re-sight her once. Damn good rifle.
I mean, it's gonna let me keep doing it, so I'm gonna keep pushing the
I
button.
remember Jessie's first kill. Turian arms dealer out of Omega. I ran through miles of filth and rust to hunt him down. When I finally cornered him, that gun was caked in 2 inches of the foulest sludge you can imagine. But Jessie wanted that Turian dead, so 2 shots. And he died right there. I killed my way across the Terminus systems with that gun. Seemed like Jessie wanted to kill more than I did. Bloodthirsty old bitch. I owe half my reputation to that weapon right there. Anytime someone calls me ruthless, Relentless. They're talking about that rifle.
So as a writer, I'm already thinking, like, because he's putting all of himself onto this gun. He's not the mean killing guy. The gun is. The gun is making him do the killing. So he's using that to disassociate, him, his life, his lifestyle, all the stuff that he's done, and put the blame on this old rifle named Jesse.
I don't take Jessie into battle anymore. Had to retire her about 5 years ago. I was hunting down this Batarian slaver. Forgot his name. Not important. Carved my way through 100 Batarian mooks. I don't remember ejecting a clip once. Jesse just kept firing. Reached the slaver and he got in my face. So I went to blow him away and nothing. The old bitch had finally jammed. So I smashed his face in with the butt of the gun and called in the job. After that, Jesse couldn't be fixed. Nothing anyone could do. Like she'd finally had enough blood and was ready to rest. Been resting ever since.
Okay, so that puts on a whole nother layer to my previous comment about him projecting, because he's still obviously up to his merc stuff, even though the gun is no longer functional. And that is all the times it'll let me push the button.
Beauty, isn't it? Pried that off the Krogan warlord, Kazak. Used to run the blood pack out of Omega about 17 years ago. Wasn't even a job. The guy just thought he'd hijack a freighter I was hitchhiking on. Big mistake. I goaded Kazak into one-on-one combat. Took out his legs, grabbed his gun, and killed every blood pack bastard in the room. That was the most beaten Krogan I've ever seen. Kept the helmet to remind me of that pained expression.
Alright. Surveillance. Alrighty then. Well, that's about all the exploratoring of this ship I can do. So, let's go find some trouble out in the galaxy. I also read all of my virtual emails. Or, at least skimmed them, so I know what's going on. So, I think our first stop will be to go back to the Citadel. Not only do I have an email from Anderson, who's like, hey, I heard you're still alive. I thought you were dead. Come clear things up. But there's also something about GoTo, who is another one of the DLC characters that I have not met or experienced before. So, hopefully, we're just gonna jump, 2/3 of the way across the galaxy here. Whoa! My camera didn't like that. Alright, that was interesting. So we're over here in the Omega Nebula. Project Overlord. Okay. That sounds new and interesting. I know who the convict and the warlord is. That's another side quest. Find that MSV Rosalie ship. Anyway, I said this is what we're doing, so this is what we're going to do first. For no other reason than I would like to meet this thief. Entering orbit. Now, the SSV-2, or the Normandy 2, whatever its numerical designation is, the second Normandy is obviously SR2. That's what it is. The SR2 Normandy is obviously the spitting image of the original Normandy, except it's twice as big, right? So they have to recognize the ship when it shows up. Like, oh, it's the Normandy, but bigger, better, with guns to calibrate. So I'm sure that's, turning heads. I don't want to project the Cerberus presence any more than I have to. So, just like old times, we're going to bring Garrus. Cycle appearances already? I was say, I thought you had to earn, the loyalty of that character first. I'm sure, just because you'd think he'd put on, undamaged armor. So I'm gonna go with it. So we're adding Garrus. I'm just gonna say Morden's busy with his experiments. Garrus will, he'll have an in. He'll know what's going on. And I don't want to project the Cerberus image too much. So I would say we'll bring this guy, but he's also, a mercenary scum type guy. So we will drag Morden away from his experiments. Oh, goodness. Garrus' face is still broken, of course. Alright. Nope, not me. This guy. Let's call that good. Oh. We're still not 100% on their menu there. I feel like, because it says exit, I don't want to quit the mission and go back to the ship. Okay. This is one of my favorite lines of dialogue in the entire franchise.
Enter the password and receive a free gift. With collectors, try Kasumi's credit services.
This recruits is a 20 kilo ferrous slug. Feel the weight! Every 5 seconds, the main gun of an Empress-class dreadnought accelerates 1 to 1.3% of light speed. It impacts with the force of a 38 kiloton bomb. That is 3 times the yield of the city buster dropped on Hiroshima back on Earth. That means Sir Isaac Newton is the deadliest son of a bitch in space. Now, Serviceman Burnside, what is Newton's first law?
Sir, an object in motion stays in motion, sir.
No credit for partial answers, maggot!
Sir, unless acted on by an outside force, sir.
Damn straight! I dare to assume you ignorant jackasses know that space is empty. Once you fire this hunk of metal, it keeps going till it hits something. That can be a ship, or the planet behind that ship. It might go off into deep space and hit somebody else in 10,000 years. If you pull the trigger on this, you are ruining someone's day, somewhere and sometime. That is why you check your damn targets. That is why you wait for the computer to give you a damn firing solution. That is why, Serviceman Chung, we do not eyeball it. This is a weapon of mass destruction. You are not a cowboy shooting from the hip.
Sir, yes, sir.
Just enter your password for a fabulous prize package worth millions of credits.
So, that little exchange right there, because of the line,
Okay,
not just...
Really? How many times can you walk by without stopping?
Hang on. I'm talking here. Anyway, as I was saying, this bit of dialogue, the way it's worded, because he says not just you're ruining someone's day somewhere, but also sometime. It's well written. And the first time I played the game, it made me stop. Because it's oh dang, he's right. If you miss with that, giant rail gun, that projectile is going to keep going forever until it hits something. Because there's nothing in space to slow it down, relatively speaking anyway, compared to atmospheric friction. It doesn't have any drag. It will go for a very long time until it hits something somewhere. And this plays, spoilers, this plays a huge factor in my books, in my writing. The whole thing, Not just, the rail guns, but getting a firing solution and not eyeballing it and so on and so forth. That is one of my single... I know it's small and minor, and it's not, exciting per se. It's not fighting, it's not interesting lore, but it is one of my single most favorite bits of the entire franchise. And at least narrowing things down to Mass Effect 2, that is probably one of my favorite moments of the entire game. Like, I had goosebumps listening to that guy. That was motivational for me. Anyway, let's
Shepard, you do have the passwords, right?
stop ignoring Katsumi. Whatever.
Please tell
The
me
thief.
your password, Commander Shepard.
Silence is golden.
Good to finally meet you, Commander Shepard. Kasumi GoTo. I'm a fan.
Has Cerberus filled you in on the mission?
Honestly, I'm shocked they didn't come to see me sooner. My fault for being hard to find, I guess.
I have not heard her voice before. Only, pictures of the character, the whole Padme lip makeup she's got going there.
What brought you to Cerberus?
That's a bit of a story. Short version, they were looking for me, so I trailed them to find out why. Turns out they were looking for someone to join you on an important mission, and were offering a serious signing bonus. I had a thing I needed help with, so I made them a deal. And here we are.
I assume this deal is something I should know about.
Yeah, I guess it slipped their minds. I'm looking for my old partner's gray box. A man named Donovan Hawk took it, and I'm planning to get it back.
If that's what Cerberus promised you, we'll get it done.
It'll be fun. And if we're lucky, you won't even have to draw your gun.
Spoken like a
We
true
should probably wrap this
stealthy
up.
person.
You look pretty silly standing there talking to an advertisement. See you on the ship, Shepard.
Okay. And no comment from Garrus? No Morden overanalyzing everything and, optical camouflage. Stealth. Oh, here we can talk to Morden.
Fascinating creatures. Genetic constructs adapted to work in Citadel. Couldn't survive outside. Unknown purpose. Wish I could have studied them. Had other things to do instead.
Now, that I feel this is a problem for me personally. It could only be worse for Solarians. I feel like, I want there to be 3 or 5 of me, just so that there's enough of me to go around to do all the things I want to do and learn all the things I want to learn. And a Solarian's lifespan is, half the length of a human's. And they're, naturally even more, tended towards that nature. And as much as it tortures me, man, that's gonna torture him. Oh, he's gonna say it again. Yeah, if I wasn't recording this, I'd sit there and listen to it again. Alright, let's go find Anderson. Get this trip over
Looks
with.
like they've tightened up security.
Shut it down.
What? Do you seriously think?
Yeah, okay.
Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am. Our scanners are picking up false readings. They seem to think you're dead.
I was only mostly dead. Try finding that option on government paperwork.
We need to get that cleared up for you. Why don't you talk to my captain? He's just beyond the scanners on the right.
You'll have to make him scream a little. He's not gonna tell you everything just because you ask.
I know, sir.
If you don't have the stomach or you're worried about being reported, I can take care of it.
No, sir. I can handle it.
That certainly doesn't sound like it's going to protocol.
Yes, I see the problem already, Commander Shepard. My console says you're dead.
You're not worried I'm some imposter claiming to be me?
We have the best screening equipment in the galaxy. Those scanners can sample DNA from skin flakes. Hell, if you have unregistered gene mods, they can even figure those out.
It don't change it. Anonymity's useful on my current mission.
Sure, you're a goddamn hero. It's not like we have to worry about you smuggling guns in or something.
I mean,
Put a block in the system. Officially, you still don't exist. And you won't get hassled by the security checkpoints. You should head up to the Presidium, though. The Council would probably like to know that one of their lost Spectres is still kicking.
I will. Having access to the Council and the Spectre's resources would be useful.
Yeah. The Council can get anything. Best thing about working CSEC is that any equipment, information, or money you need, you get. Anyway, something else you need? Or can I get back to work?
he's excited to get back to work. Yeah, there we go.
I overheard your conversation. Make him scream a little?
This isn't a Presidium. All they have to worry about are protesters outside their free speech zones or someone's poodle crapping on the grass. Down here, we have drugs, organized crime, and murder. Policing a ward is like policing New York City. Sometimes you have to work outside the Council's rulebook.
CSEC has changed.
There's the comment from Garrus. Alright.
I should be going.
You need anything else, let me know.
I would like to make comments since he mentioned specifically New York City, but I won't because this is a non-political channel. We're here to discuss science fiction and science. Anyway. Let's not talk to Avina. I think I managed to get through the first game without talking to Avina.
I heard that those lakes up on the Presidium are filled with fish.
Some levels I don't remember. I don't remember there being that much going on. Maybe I'll have to explore that on my off time. You know, off screen, so I'm not wasting time. Oh, we're going straight into Anderson.
This meeting would be more productive if Udina was to join us.
My advisor is unavailable. As counselor, I represent the voice of humanity and the Alliance. Shepard will be here and... Oh, Commander. We were just talking about you.
It's been a long time, Anderson. I hope the last couple years have treated you right.
There have been some rough spots. It's good to have you back.
We've heard many rumors surrounding your unexpected return. Some of them are unsettling.
We called this meeting so you could explain your actions, Shepard. We owe you that much. After all, you saved our lives in the battle against Saren and his Geth.
The Collectors are abducting human colonists in the Terminus systems. Worse, we think they're working for the Reapers.
The Terminus systems are beyond our jurisdiction. Your colonists knew this when they left Council space.
You're missing the important part, Counselor. The Reapers are involved.
Ah yes, Reapers. The immortal race of sentient starships allegedly waiting in dark space. We have dismissed that claim.
Shepard, no one else encountered the hologram on Ilos that told you the truth about the Reapers. Only you and your crew ever spoke with someone. I believe you. But without evidence from another source, the others think Saren was behind the Geth attacks.
Saren was an organic. The Geth would never accept him as their leader. They only followed him because he was Sovereign's agent.
Saren was a compelling and charismatic individual. He convinced the Geth the Reapers were real, just as he convinced you.
It was part of his plan to attack the Citadel. The Reapers are just a myth, one you insist on perpetuating.
We believe that you believe it, but that doesn't make it true.
Go back to Ilos and talk to Vigil. Or just look at what's left of Sovereign. It's obvious the technology is more advanced than ours.
The hologram on Ilos is no longer functional, and we have found nothing to suggest that Sovereign was not a Geth creation.
The Geth are capable of remarkable technological achievements. This is probably why Saren recruited them.
This Reaper theory proves just how fragile your mental state is. You have been manipulated. By Cerberus, and before them, by Saren.
Up to this point, no one had specifically said Cerberus.
I guess I'm on my own. again.
We are in a difficult position, Shepard. You are working for Cerberus, an avowed enemy of the Council. This is treason, a capital offense.
That's too far. Shepard is a hero. I'm on this council too, and I won't let this whitewash continue.
Maybe there is a compromise. Not a public acknowledgement given your ties, but something to show peripheral support.
Shepard, if you keep a low profile and restrict your operations to the Terminus systems, the Council is willing to offer you reinstatement as a Spectre.
Reinstatement?
What does that mean? Will I need to start filing reports?
That won't be necessary. This is a show of good faith on our part.
We cannot become involved in an investigation regarding the missing colonies in the Terminus systems. But Spectre reinstatement shows our support of you personally.
I accept your offer.
Good luck with your investigation, Shepard. We hope for a quick resolution and a quick end to your relationship with Cerberus.
Well, that went better than expected.
Yeah.
You realize the Council's offer is just symbolic. They won't actually do anything.
Even if they don't help, I might as well stay on good terms.
True enough. Don't worry about the Council or the Alliance. I'll find some way to keep them off your back. Shouldn't be too hard. As long as you keep to the Terminus systems.
Anderson, we need to talk about... Shepard. What are you doing here?
Not used to seeing ghosts, Udina?
I'd heard you were alive, of course, but I didn't expect to see you back on the Citadel.
I invited Shepard here to speak with the Council. We just finished our meeting.
You what? Consular, do the words political shitstorm mean anything to you?
The Council reinstated my Spectre status. They're just happy I'm staying out in the Terminus systems.
Yes, I could see how that arrangement works best for both sides. But you really shouldn't have taken a step like this without consulting with me first, Counselor.
I don't answer to you, Udina. Why don't you go to your office and think about that for a while?
Of course, Counselor. Good day to both of you.
Sorry about that. Udina's never gotten over the fact that I got the Council position instead of him. Sometimes I need to put him in his place.
What do you keep him around for?
There we go.
He's got his uses. And if you want something done on the Citadel, he knows who can make it happen. Plus, he's always happy to attend all those formal diplomatic functions I can't be bothered with.
I don't know how many of you are familiar with other games besides Mass Effect. I used to also be a huge fan of Call of Duty, of Modern Warfare 2 in particular. And the voice actor for Anderson here is the same as the Sergeant in Modern Warfare 2. And I remember seeing somewhere, sometime, a picture, a meme of Captain Anderson yelling, "Ramirez, defend Burger Town!" And it gets me every time. Like, I can't play either game without thinking of the opposite character. I don't know who this voice actor is. I don't remember his name, which is doing him a disservice, but he's fantastic, and I love his work.
How have the last couple years treated you?
Serving on the Council isn't how I plan to spend my twilight years. Sometimes it feels like I'm just beating my head against a wall. Knowing the truth about Sovereign is brutal. It's nightmare stuff. I can't blame others for not wanting to believe it, but I know how important it is. So I keep trying. Fighting the good fight, right?
This is just wishful thinking. I wouldn't even say that.
How long did it take to get this place back up to speed after the battle?
Still counting. The main areas of commerce and the most populated wards are complete. But estimates for total restoration are sitting around 5 years. The Keepers always surprise us, though. It's like our repairs are annoying. We'll put up an ugly new bulkhead, and in a few days, they've made it seamless. We never really thought of them as heavy lifters, and I have no idea where they get the resources. But we'd never get done without them.
There's so much science sci-fi stuff, you could go down a rabbit hole talking about the Keepers for, uplifts and client races and slave species and genetic engineering and biodroids, all kinds of stuff, since they're kind of a gray area as far as the game goes. I'm sure I could, pull it up on the wiki and find something, definitive, but generally speaking, they kind of beat around the bush involving the Keepers, and I think that's a good thing, writing-wise. It gives you something to think about, some odd, formless grayness to try and grapple with your mind, like a cat trying to open the little plastic ball that can smell the catnip is inside it, but it can't reach it.
What happened to Staff Lieutenant Alenko after the Normandy was destroyed?
Staff Commander Alenko is still with the Alliance, but he's working on a special mission. It's classified. I can't say any more. Not while you're working with Cerberus, I'm sorry.
That's a fair point.
Last I knew, we were still fighting holdouts.
Well, here and there. But they are increasingly disorganized. It's long since stopped being called a war. More like cleanup. Not that you can ever discount them. But we haven't had serious casualties for months. A civilian ship will spot an enclave and we send in a squad to clear it. They're not quite the boogeymen they used to be.
Someone said boogeyman. That was a term that I kept had,
Sovereign isn't
in my head.
technology. Didn't they examine the wreckage?
We don't have much to look at. Pieces have been rained all over the station. It was chaos. With who knows
I don't think
how
I've
many
ever seen
species
Elcor
combing the woods
walk
for their
before.
dead. We secured as much of it as we
That
could.
looks
but between the Keepers
inefficient.
and a whole lot of unauthorized salvage, there's no way to account for even half of that thing. Another reason why they don't want to acknowledge what Sovereign was.
I better go.
Of course, Shepard, I understand. I wish I could do more to help you. But if you ever want to talk, I'll be here. Just do me a favor and be careful. You can't trust Cerberus.
I like how those guys, went and kindly stood out of the way over there. And how their dead Cerberus agent is permitted to just carry this rocket launcher running around. Well, I don't know of any other business I have here. So, let's get on the ship and leave. And I guess we'll talk to this Katsumi, whatever her name is, the Master Thief. We'll talk to her some more on board the ship, see which part of the ship she's lounging in.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Of course. Where would they put Katsumi? Oh, well, that was easy to find.
People are talking out there, and I hear it all.
All right.
I usually travel hidden away in cargo bays. It's nice to be able to look out a window for a change.
Windows are a structural weakness.
Mess Sergeant Gardner might just be an evil genius. Emphasis on the evil. People think he's a bad cook on purpose, like he's trying to teach them a lesson. I think his ramen is okay, but it's really hard to ruin ramen. I'm not really sure what to do with myself. Not much call for thievery aboard a ship.
That's also a good point.
Come back later. I'm sure I'll have more to talk about.
That felt unusually cheerful. I guess I didn't really have any specific articulate expectations meeting this character, but now, for being a master thief, she feels too damn happy. I mean, I guess there's no reason a thief couldn't be happy, but...
That painting has a special place in my heart. An art collector hired me to steal it. When I got there, the painting was gone. On the way out, I saw it being hauled off by another thief. I chased him down, tackled him, and took the painting. That's how KG and I met. We never did turn it into our employers.
Who's KG?
Come back later.
Nope,
Sure, I'll
she's
have
not
more
going to
to
answer
talk
that
about.
question. The rose.
The red rose. That used to be my calling card when I first started out. In place of whatever I took, I left a single red rose. It wasn't until I met KG that I realized how silly it was. He had a way of making you realize when you were just being sentimental. I stole that on a dare, believe it or not. There was a big museum show coming to Ilium. Artifacts from Earth going on tour. Very high security. KG dared me to steal this. So I broke in, hacked the security, put a few guards to sleep, and replaced the piece with a worthless duplicate. They never knew the difference. My first museum job. Nowhere near the last.
So I guess she was some sort of amateur thief until she met whoever this KG person is, who's either a mentor or significant other, I'm assuming. Just, from my writer perspective, who saw some...
That's my favorite piece, painted for me by a child prodigy from Elysium. She was the cutest thing.
Was?
She was kidnapped by slavers who hoped to sell her on Omega. I wasn't about to let that happen. I set up an idea as a buyer's rep to get a special tour of the slaver's vessel. Once aboard, I freed the girl and smuggled her off the ship. She painted that for me on the way home. I'll never forget how it felt to watch her work.
I'm not sure... I've never been much of a fan of abstract art. Like this I like. I would call that art. I'd put that on my wall. That gives me feelings. This? There's a couple circles on a red background. I mean, I guess, like, if you turn your head sideways, like, with those eyes and a nostril, kind of makes me think of Spyro.
Don't laugh, I like those books. Romance novels, crime novels, the classics. There's something about the feel of actual paper in your hands, their musty smell. It's relaxing. KG used to find books for me while on the job. Some of these are more valuable than the objects he was hired to steal.
Because she's just lugging all this stuff around and, already has it on board. But I completely agree with the whole books thing. I have read a couple ebooks. I've listened to, whatever term you want to use, a fair number of audiobooks. There is no replacement for a book. My favorite flavor of book is a cheap, like $1, $2 used paperback that's older than my parents with yellow pages that smells good. And I know the reason it smells is because of, dust mites and skin cells and decay and probably mold and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I mean, I care a little bit, but my sense of smell is very weak. It has been for nigh on 2 decades. And it is one of the things I can still smell. And I enjoy it. It is a tangible thing to read and hold a book. And I think that is how the media should be consumed. Hell, let's have a drink. And they still pour awkward. They didn't fix that with the DLC. Doing shots. Double shot. Anyway. This thing. I used to have an old game called Prophecy Wing Commander. And I probably spent more time replaying the same 10 simulation missions, the training missions, over and over than I did playing the story missions. And the simulator in the game that you used for training looked a lot like that. And I don't know if that is, a reference, a nod, or just coincidence. But that's what it always makes me think of. I miss that game. And now that it has occurred to me, I'm going to go look and see if that's on Steam. Is she going to comment?
Come back later.
Nope.
I'm sure I'll have more to talk about.
No comments on closing the window, even though she's excited about the window. And she's just got her bed and a shelf full of books and all this stuff next to the bar on the observation deck. They could have at least, if I remember right, before the DLC, there was just kind of a glass wall there, and you could just see the empty space beyond, and there wasn't anything in that room. I think that's what this line on the floor used to be. They could have left that there, made it a little more opaque, frosted glass like on a shower door, giving her some privacy. I don't know.
Shepard, the women's restroom is on the starboard side of the ship.
So, I've already done that, but I wanted to see if she'd do it a second time. And when I did it the first time, much to my disappointment, when I went over to the women's room and walked into that, she didn't give me any remarks like, hey, you found it, or whatever, and I was kind of disappointed. I feel like in this media format, that would have been a bit of writing that would help sell the AI thing. Anyway, back up to the CIC. We're supposed to be in the Terminus systems, out beyond Council space. It is way past my bedtime. So, how about... we, This is what's holding my interest. I don't remember a Project Overlord, so I'm wondering if that is new DLC stuff. So let's go look. Oh look, planets to scan. I said I wouldn't do that on camera anymore because it's boring and not exciting, so I'm gonna save, quit, and we'll call this an episode. Sorry it wasn't exciting. It is what it is. I'm just playing the game and telling you what I think. And it's part of why I don't like Mass Effect 2. It's not as exciting. Saving content. Alright. Party hardy, my friends. I'll see you in the next one. And perhaps, depending on how my life and my time goes in the future, I might start doing my bi-weekly episodes and continue doing Mass Effect on Tuesdays and throw in my Escape from Tarkov adventures on Thursdays. I don't know. That's what I would like to do, but life keeps us busy. And, all the, if you're still here almost an hour into my tired rant, thank you. I appreciate it. Leave a like, leave a comment, drive the YouTube algorithm that I'm a very, very small dot inside of. Party hardy, gentlemen, ladies, whoever you are. Pour one for Shepard.